Okay, Glenn, just a little before and after from our session. So the before swing at the start of the session on the left-hand side. So let's start with the difference in the takeaway. Yes, you move your hands inward, which is good, but the club head's a little under the plane, isn't it? Right. So don't forget, one of the things, the big major thing we're working on in your backswing is extend or bending backwards with your spine. So I said, right, well, let's combine that with a little bit of what we in your takeaway. So I said, well, try and imagine your hands are moving. Try and imagine your hands are moving more outwards, right, and upwards this way. And then combine that with the bending backwards with the spine, or the extension of the spine, and then you start to see that kind of position in your takeaway, right? So the club head's not underneath the plane anymore, right? Hands are still moved in, even though you feel as though your hands are moving outward this way. Your hands are still moving in. That's what I was trying to explain with regards to the difference between what you feel and what is real, right? And then as we get to the top, you can see that right arm starts to bend a bit easier, right? You see how this is bending and folding easier, whereas this one's kind of a bit straight on the left side. And then as we get to the top, because we've got that glove underneath our armpit, right? You can see the glove there, right, for connection. We just get there, and that's it, right? As soon as you feel like you can't go any further, that's it. That's the top of your backswing. So that now looks much more structured with regards to arm and shoulders, and also not as much space underneath your right armpit, right? So here now you lift your arms up, right? A lot of space underneath here, right? And also the arm doesn't match the shoulders for a one plane swing, right? We don't want to lift your arms up off your chest. So that's really good. Now if we pull up a swing, so this was one of your shots towards the end of the session. Draw some lines, one through the club, one through your elbow. So miles better with the takeaway. Look, that's good. Didn't have the glove under your armpit on that one. I think that the shots that you put your glove in your back pocket. Look, the shots that you hit the best when we were doing your drills were the shots where you had the glove under your armpit. So practice hard with that glove under your armpit. That's really important, because you can see how that right arm is still always going to have a tendency to come up off your torso there, right? But then as we come down into impact, you see the club head not so much underneath the plane anymore. We still have to work hard on the turns, we know that, right? You're still not open enough. Let me put another line there, just bear with me a second. One through your elbow. Right, so you see as you come, you swing at the start of the session, club heads very much underneath the plane. Path is too much from the inside. At least now, with just a little bit of change, you can see that club head coming down less from the inside. Still haven't turned open enough, right? If we stop you there, a little bit of difference in how much you've turned your shoulders. Right, your shoulders are over there now. They're just not quite as closed. We want them open. Remember, 30 odd degrees open. But just that tiny little bit of change, right? And there we start to see your arm more sort of straight underneath your elbow, underneath your shoulder there. Whereas before it was actually really outward, wasn't it? Out there. So then that affects how the club comes out. You see the club's coming through your neck, and the club face whipped over. This was at the start of the session. Now we're starting to see the club come through your shoulder, and not as much club face rotation, right? So the things we're working on have always got to relate back to what your problems are. Your problems were path too much from the inside and too much rotation with the club face, right? So the face to path relationship. So that was really good, mate. From now until your next session, I would just carry on working with the glove under your armpit. You also notice how one of the things we did was get that stick on the ground, right? And that's just your little visual cue to, as you're coming down, that's the path your hand should be following, right? You can see through here, right? If we had a stick on the ground, the stick would actually be going this way because your hands are going this way, right? You can see through impact there, your hands are still going out, right? So get that stick on the ground, exiting left. You want your hands to be exiting left when you hit it. Okay, mate, if you have any questions or anything like that, just shoot me over an email. Thanks, Glenn.